So we make a transition here from Module 1, the 17th century, to this Module 2. And you might be wondering why I've done it this way. This new module is titled Art in France from the 17th to the early 18th century. So we're focusing on one place and we're breaking up the centuries, doing the second half of the 17th century, really, and then the first half of the 18th century, which isn't exactly how the textbook did it. So the textbook chapter 30 identifies European and American art, and its date range is 1715 to 1840. So what am I doing differently? Basically, I'm trying to break this down into smaller, more focused chunks. That's a beautiful word, right? Chunks. More focused selections, because this is a massively packed, dense, rich chapter that can be overwhelming, and it helps to break it into smaller units. Because as soon as you read the introduction, you're going to see we're starting to enter the age of revolution. And these are multiple revolutions. They identify them as the Industrial Revolution, an intellectual revolution that is related to both science and the growing focus on rationalism, rational thought, as the domain for knowing the world rather than religion. And then certainly the political revolutions. So much is happening. You know, there is the American War of Independence. You've learned that date, 1776. And for us, really, France's Revolution of 1789 will perhaps be even more important. Both are the culmination of radical change in society, thought, and politics. And there is so much of that change that we need to kind of look at it more microscopically and see how it builds. So if we come back for a moment to our 17th century chapter, it brings you at the end to France. We're actually going to skip over England. And France is going to be the place where so much of that radical new thinking takes place, and also the political changes, tensions, turmoil, struggles that will lead to the idea of a rights of man or humans, and a throwing over of monarchic systems. So ironically, we will start to find how that happens and see the role art plays in that by looking at the monarch, who is quite the monarch, Mr. Sun King himself, Louis XIV. So we'll be looking at his artistic culture and its service for his political vision, and then see how that's leading toward change.